Shall we begin? Can I invite all of you to close your eyes? Relax. Close your eyes. Feel the body. Feel the body. Feel it straight. If you find there's any tightness in the muscles, you will relax the muscles. Say, relax. Slowly, you draw in a deep breath. Then breathe out gently. Draw in a deep breath. Relax. Gently breathe out. One more time. Deep in. Breathe out gently. Feel the body. Feel the body comfortable. Let the body relax. The body relaxes, the mind relaxes. You are in the Dhamma space. You're with fellow Buddhists. It's a joyous occasion. Feel a smile forming in your heart. A smile. Relax the body. Feel a smile forming. Bring the smile gently to the face. And then watch the body breathe. It's a slight, gentle breathing in the body. Body breathes. Quiet, rhythmic breathing. Place your attention on the body breathing. Just relax. Tell your mind to relax. Feel comfortable. The body is comfortable. It's a breathing that happens in the body. Observe this breathing. Relax and observe. Feel peaceful. Feel calm. Feel content. Feel peaceful. Feel calm. Feel content. Just watching this breathing, rhythmic breathing. Now we're going to slowly ease out of this, but before we conclude, let's give thanks to the Buddha. Take a mental bow. Grateful for the Dhamma, grateful for the practice. So as you ease out of a meditation sitting, as you ease out, you do it slowly. You deepen the breathing. You slowly stretch your fingers. And then you stretch your neck muscles. Keep your eyes closed. Just stretch. Slowly, mindfully, feel every muscle stretch. Upper back, lower back, wriggle your toes. And then when you're ready, you can more relaxed. Okay, good. If you like to spread out a little bit more, makes the room feel a little bit more populated. It's June holidays, I understand. I think most of us are in Japan. Dhamma takes a back seat. Okay, shall we begin? How is everyone? Haven't seen you guys in a long time. I think the last time I was here is in March. So we suspended Anguttara Nikaya for a couple of months. Okay. How many of you are here for the first time? First time, great, welcome. You first time, eh? Okay. All right, welcome, welcome. We're going to talk about, okay, every month I have to give Aileen a topic. So I just give a bit of backdrop how we ended up with this. Every month I will give Aileen a topic. And at some point I ran out of things to say. I was about to why don't we just repeat broadcast the earlier ones? Huh? And then I don't know how, but I stumbled upon this idea of let's pull out suttas from the Pali Canon and kind of introduce all of you and interest you all and inspire you to look at the sutta for yourself. But as a bit of a guidance, we start with the simpler one, and I will guide you through the simpler ones. But it's a sample, okay? I'm not going one by one. So right now, we started with Anguttara Nikaya, and this is the third round. At the rate I'm going, we're going to end this year with Anguttara Nikaya because it's book to 11. This is 6, okay? And I chose suttas that are relevant to the lay people and inspire you to come and practice, okay? This is just contextualizing. We're looking at this number of books, and we are at 1. So Aileen will not be bugging me for a long time, for many years, okay? Smart, that's brain, you know? Okay, Anguttara Nikaya, book of 648 suttas. I am only picking out 6. Let's begin. The first one. the daily experience of a Sotapanna in the book of 6. Sotapanna, in our Theravadian tradition, Sotapanna is the first stage of sainthood, known as a saint. But the idea here is, at this level, they really understand the Dhamma. They have their taste of the Dhamma. They have certain clarity about the Dhamma. Buddha would describe them as they know how to complete the practice themselves on their own. They don't need guidance. In fact, there are many suttas that have a Sotapanna saying that they are beyond teachers. They don't need teachers. By looking at the sutta, they know how to complete the journey. Okay, so this is the daily experience, the daily life of a Sotapanna. So if you fancy that you're one, see whether you can identify with this, okay? On one occasion, the Blessed One was dwelling amongst the Sakyan at Kapilawatu at the Banyan Tree. So all suttas, the longer ones, they all start with context. Who was his audience? Where was he? And to give you a sense of who asked the question, and therefore contextually, what does the answer mean? But sometimes his answer is a little bit different, okay? Mahanama, the Sakyan, his first cousin. Mahanama's father and Buddha's father are brothers, so they are first cousin. And Mahanama asked some of the best questions posed by lay people. Very good questions. He approached the Bhante, the Buddha, paid homage, sat to one side, said, "How does a noble disciple who has arrived at the fruit and understand the teaching often dwell?" So this is not just a path, Sotapanna, it's a fruit. All stage, there are 4 stages. There are 4 levels of understanding and experience, 4 levels. Each level, there is a path and a fruit. Path means they know how to do it. Fruit means they experience it. Whatever that the path view, there is a full experience of it. Okay? So sometimes like we go for a retreat, right? And then initially we struggle. Then at some point, oh, I understand what Ajahn or Sayadaw was teaching, Bhante. I understand. But does that mean that you have applied well and transformed your mind? No. You know the method. You know what needs to be done. Now on your own, you can do it. But it doesn't mean that your mind has been transformed by the method yet. Because the Dhamma requires rewiring of your mind, your brain. Okay? And if it's not properly rewired, you do not experience the Dhamma properly. Okay? Okay, so this guy arrived at the fruit, understood the teaching, often dwell. This is their daily life. By the way, the translation is done by Bhikkhu Bodhi. And I like Bhikkhu Bodhi's translation. It is very precise. He chose as well as he can. That's why sometimes his translation is a bit harder to read, because it's very consistent, it's very close to the canon, okay? Okay, so Mahanama asked a question, and the Buddha replied, "Here, Mahanama, a noble disciple recollects the Tathagata thus: the Blessed One is an Arahant, perfectly enlightened, accomplished in true knowledge and conduct, fortunate, knower of the world, unsurpassed trainer of persons to be tamed, teacher of devas and human, enlightened one." The Blessed One. So some of you, when I read the third word, your mind kind of drifted, because, I know this already, I know this by heart. I can even recite in Pali. So clever. Itipiso, Bhagawa, Arahant. I can recite it in Pali, so clever. So therefore, I'm enlightened too. No. Because knowing the words does not mean understanding the words. The recollection here is, I recall my teacher is perfectly enlightened, so my faith in the teacher is absolute. He knows what he's teaching, or he knew what he was teaching, and he knew exactly the outcome as a result of your applying that teaching. I have full confidence he's a Sama Sambuddha. I'm fully convinced he's enlightened. You see, faith requires you to know the person directly, right? If I were to tell you such and such a monk, wonderful, fantastic, Arahan, Arahan, would you believe me? You shouldn't. You know, like, I think better say yes. No, you shouldn't. You should at least go see the monk and assess for yourself. And sometimes you are convinced, sometimes you're not. But you must at least see. But Buddha's no more. There's no Buddha today. We don't know the living Buddha. So how do you have faith in someone who is no longer around? You don't know him directly. So if you tell me I have absolute faith in the Buddha, I believe you do. I believe you do. Okay? I say slower. I believe you. I mean, I believe that you believe you have absolute faith in the Buddha. But that faith, if it's not resting on something more tangible, more concrete, the faith is shaky, it's blind. So unless you know the Dhamma, you applied the Dhamma, unless you have done that and you know how it works, actually your faith sits on shaky ground. Okay? So we have a problem here, right? On the one hand, you're supposed to have faith in the Buddha, but on the other, without understanding, your faith is not sitting on strong foundation. Okay? Okay. So, but for the Sotapanna, his faith in the Buddha is very strong. It's unshakable. Why is that? Because of the subsequent one. Because of Dhamma and Sangha. It's not just here. Here, I have faith in the teacher. I believe he's fully enlightened, but I take it under advisement, not full yet. I need to go into the practice. I know how it is done. I can experience the change in myself. That's when your faith starts to strengthen. Otherwise, it is shaky. Okay? So I believe my teacher was fully enlightened. Sama Sambuddha. I believe he has knowledge and it translates into the way he leads his life. So knowledge and conduct, how he conducted himself is a reflection of that wisdom. So virtuous, perfect. Okay. The Pali word is sugato. Sugato to me is well journeyed. So sometimes you hear this word well journeyed, well traveled, completing his journey beautifully. Knower of the world, this world. He has perfect knowledge of how the mind works. He has perfect knowledge of how this mind, when the body breaks apart and it moves on, he knows how it works. He knows the mechanics. And the key element about the Buddha is him being a teacher. So these two critical aspects, the way he perfected his practice, and now he transmitted, he teaches it. And he teaches person to be tame. Sometimes the translation say who wish to be tame, okay? And that's the idea. If you don't want to, Buddha cannot do anything. He doesn't sit here and, come I bless you, boom, you're all tame. It doesn't work like that. You must want the teaching. You must want to tame the mind. So taming means what? Moderating and calming down that three fires. Lobha, dosa, moha. Greed, anger, delusion. That's the taming we're talking about. Fundamentally, it's about muting, softening, eventually evaporating the anger, the greed, and that delusion. Okay? So if you wish to tame, you wish for that, you come to the Dhamma. And the Buddha is capable of teaching devas and humans. This is an important line which sometimes we forget. So there are two categories of beings that can practice. We all belong to one. I assume, huh? No Dewas here, okay? Sorry, don't recognize, can't see, okay? We are the human ones. But anyone higher, any of the beings living in a higher plane, they can learn, they can practice. In case you are under the wrong view that Dewas cannot practice, it's not true. Huh? If Dewas cannot practice, why is it in this note that says teachers of Dewas and humans? Dewas can. Enlightened one. So in a daily life, on a daily setting, this Sotapanna will remember the Buddha, remember his enlightenment, remember with gratitude and faith. And this is important because it leads to this. When a disciple, noble disciple, recollects the Tathagata, on that occasion, his mind is not obsessed by lobha, dosa, moha, lust, hatred, delusion. On that occasion, his mind is straight, based on the Tathagata. So his faith is steady. When he recalls the Buddha, for those of you who periodically remembers the Buddha, at that point you remember Buddha, you got lobha, dosa, moha. Like, I remember Buddha, greed. I remember Buddha, anger. God or not, don't have, right? At that moment when the mind settles on the Buddha, these three fires are quenched temporarily. So it's like you bring in something beautiful, the mind goes quiet. You bring in an object that is really disturbing, the mind shakes. So the recollection is to help the mind settle, get calm. So for those of you who are practicing and you say, my mind cannot settle, when I sit, the mind shakes, then you try and recall the Buddha's qualities and see if it helps. I know of someone who does that, and he can sit for hours. Okay? We repeat in English and Pali. Just on. A noble disciple whose mind is straight gains inspiration in the meaning, gains inspiration in the Dhamma, gains joy connected with the Dhamma. These two lines are very important. I can feel some joy coming up already. You recall the Buddha, the mind stops its leaning towards lobha, dosa, moha. At that point, the mind goes quiet. Straight is to go quiet, still, settle, okay? And at that point, the Dhamma comes back. Oh, joy, beautiful. I recall the Dhamma. Joy, when he's joyful, piti arises, rapture. The body also feels good. For one with rapturous mind, body becomes tranquil, one tranquil in body feels pleasure, and so on. So essentially, recalling the Buddha, pacify, calm down, tame the fire, lobha, dosa, moha, the result of which the mind goes quiet. At that moment, it feels joy, it feels connected to the Dhamma. That's how the process works. I know some of you are smiling happily. Yes, that's how the process works. And when you feel the joy, samadhi is natural. So you don't have to like find my point, hold it there. No need, no need. The moment the mind is soft and happy, soft and joyful, samadhi is natural. Natural. Samadhi msi nge lai. Translation, how to translate? Forcefully, yeah, forcefully. In Hokkien, teach you Hokkien word, nge lai. It is not forcefully. If you forcefully, your mind becomes very tight, very hard. You cannot sit for long. It becomes restless rather quickly. Okay? This is called a noble disciple who dwells in balance amidst an unbalanced population, who dwells unafflicted amidst an afflicted population. The idea here is a Sotapanna, being able to recall the Buddha, naturally the mind goes quiet. In daily life, he has samadhi. Samadhi is not just sitting with your back upright, hand in the posture like this, closed eyes, samadhi. Actually, this tells you even in daily life, there is some degree of samadhi. The mind is quiet. It's steady, it's present, it's joyous, it's light. So there is a form of samadhi in daily life. This is the mindfulness with mindfulness and steady awareness. And because the mind can get into this state, he doesn't get unbalanced. Our mind gets unbalanced. How does our mind get unbalanced? See something we like, the mind, poof, go that way. Go that way. See something get upset, is upsetting, dip into anger. So our mind is not steady and peaceful and calm. It swings, the mind swings. So amidst an unbalance, the world is not balanced. The world is easily riled up, easily distracted. They are not so easily distracted. Okay? And he dwells like that. So this is his daily life. He's quite steady one, huh? Steady, right? As one who has entered the stream of the Dhamma, he develops recollection of the Buddha. Can you guess the next one? Cannot? How many gems is there? 3. So the next one is Dhamma. Okay? The just one is Buddha. But it can also happen to Dhamma. Recalls the Dhamma, depending on your habit, your instincts. And so it's not you, but the Sotapanna, right? Depending on his instincts. So sometimes he recalls the Dhamma. Dhamma, well expounded, therefore perfectly delivered. If you can read the sutta on your own, just read the sutta on your own. You don't need people to translate for you. I mean, translate into English in a word you can understand, in a language you can understand, but it's beautiful on its own. Don't second guess and don't twist the Buddha's words. It's as simple as it gets. Directly visible, there's beautiful translation here. Sanditiko, directly visible. Immediately inviting. This is the 𝐴𝑗𝑝 one. It's inviting. Applicable upanaiko, personally experienced by the wise. Pacata veditabu binyo hiti. Okay? Now, put it this way. Well, these are all words. Let me explain it like this. The Dhamma is experiential. This is actually what it means. It's experiential. It's not conceptual. It's not just an idea. It is not concept. You cannot reason your way to understanding. So for those of you who are very into the higher Dhamma, higher Dhamma, api Dhamma lah, it's too much reasoning there. It's too much reasoning there. You cannot reason your way to enlightenment. Nobody in his time reasoned their way to enlightenment. It's experiential, meaning you have to apply the guidance, then you observe how it changes your behavior, it changes your instincts, your leanings, your inclinations. And when you get it, when you connect that dot, it's immediate. The effect is immediate. Example. I'm very angry. I'm not going to scold people. I'm very angry. I want to scold. Scold someone, never mind. Just scold someone. Big check, must go scold someone. Then I remember, the Buddha said, Nekamma, 𝑵𝒊𝒌𝒂𝒚𝒂, 𝑎vihimsa. Right thought, the second noble truth. The fourth noble truth, the path has 8 parts, right? The second one says right intention, right thought. Or translated right thought. Now, okay, apply application. I'm angry. I must go scold people. Then I remember the Buddha's guidance. Right intention. Nekamma, let it go. Don't hold on to it. Let be. 𝑵𝒊𝒌𝒂𝒚𝒂, no ill will. Avihimsa, no cruelty. Okay? No cruelty. Now, if you at that point recall, not you, if I at that point recall, I will say, sudahlah, sudahlah, let be, let be. Forgive lah. Swat, swat. Okay? Swat, swat key, right? So swat means let go, let be. Okay? It's okay. Straight away, I will feel better. Immediate. If I don't recall, and I go ahead and scold, I will turn around and feel worse. Because my conscience says, once you have you ever experienced this? You're so angry, you went to scold. I scold already, you regret. Yes? No? Yes. The hiri growl sure has one. Hiri, conscience. You would be. Immediately you feel the effect of your choice. That's what it means. Immediate. The moment you apply accordingly, you will feel the effect. It's experiential. And once you connect that dot, inviting, you want to know more. You want to learn more. I guarantee you, one round of a dot connection between what is taught and you apply, you get it. At that point, you say, I want to know more. Okay? This is the way it is. Example, another example. Here the teacher saying, oh, do metta, do metta. Do metta. You really feel it. You really feel the metta. You feel that joy, the powerful friendliness. And the teacher guide you to like, grow it, grow it. Feel for all humanity. You boom. You feel for all humanity. You have touched the sky into the depth of the ocean. Even that ugly fish down there can feel your metta. That kind one, very fierce one. And then, actually, you get out of this state and you go, wow, metta is so powerful. For one moment, I lost me. It is correct. You should lose you, okay? I don't feel. I feel connected with the cosmos. Correct. It should be like that. At the highest level, at the deepest level, the most profound level. You want to see more? Are you going to say, done, I done metta, check, list off. Let's go do something else. You want to go back and try again. Can you replicate it? Is it natural for you? At some point, it becomes natural. And you say, metta is the most beautiful gift the Buddha can give. Not yet. Actually, there are better ones. But this one also good lah. Do you know what I'm saying? So the Dhamma is so beautiful that when you feel it and you're like, yes, all right, celebrate, you celebrate a bit. And then you will say, I want to know more. Why you think there are people who are addicted to retreats? Addiction only happens because there's something good there, right? And they're the serial ones there. Every year, Jhana Grove book out. Okay? You want to go for your retreat, you other than take number, go and build Jhana Grove, expand it. Because it's every year book out, right? Every year. Packed. Because it is, packed a few times a year. Packed a few times a year, you all go off peak lah. Off peak better chance, right? But Achambra won't be there, you're on your own. The point is, the Dhamma, once you get a taste of it, it's so beautiful, you want to keep going. Right? You want to keep going. Experienced by the wise for himself. Then you will say, oh, I don't know whether I wise enough or not. How many of you will say that? Come on, before the Buddha, Musawada. Okay. So there's a part in us that says maybe we're not wise enough. How to realize how to realize for myself, not because I'm not wise enough. No. At the moment, you get something, at that point, you have wisdom. Get it? At that point, you understood anything. At that point, you are wise. Of course, our wisdom can come and go on. So on a good day, wisdom grows. On a bad day, I want to go and fight with people already, wisdom dissipates. Okay? It's like that, lor. We are like that, lor. Okay? Okay, all this I don't have to repeat. It's the same point. Just to recap very, very quickly, you recall. So when you recall Dhamma, it says, I've not experienced the Dhamma, how to recall that Dhamma, right? No, Dhamma is application. Recall doing good. Recall forgiving. Recall contentment. All these are, it's Dhamma. It is part of Dhamma. And when you do that and you say, this is the teaching, this is his guidance, at that point, the mind is happy. At that point, the mind is not caught up with lobha, dosa, moha, and it's inspired and it wants to know more, it has joy. Then the mind goes quiet, the samadhi will happen, and you will then be balanced. Even for us who are not quite there yet, even for us, this works. At that point, when you recall the Dhamma, at that point, the mind goes quiet. You are happy, your heart feels lighter. You suddenly feel more balanced. Even for us, okay? You don't have to hit the Sotapanna yet. And we also Esai, okay? And Sangha, same drill, but I will just crunch this part. The word supatipano, well practiced, okay? Supatipano, is it practicing the good way? Supatipano, uju patipano. Uju means straight. That's why he translates as practicing the straight way. Neapatipano, practice with understanding. And Samisipatipano, practicing in accordance with Dhamma. So that's actually what it means. Okay? Now let me just explain like a little bit easier to understand. I see supatipano as being conscientious, practicing well. Conscientious. Why? Because we are not always consistent. There are days when we are inspired, energetic, and then there are the off days. The days called the lala days, where you want to like kick off your shoe and lean back and like, so tired. I think I'll take a break. Like you can take a break from goodness, but it's okay, we'll take a break. So supatipano, a good practice, well practiced, to me it really means being conscientious, being hardworking, energetic, okay? Uju patipano, uju, I told you it's straight, right? It's practicing the straight way, then you may be like, what does it mean? It means practicing honestly, sincerely. You're on your own when you're practicing. Sometimes you can pinjia a bit, right? Taojia a bit, right? Taojia means you give yourself discount, not so hardworking, just a bit relaxed, a bit not quite it. But in some cases, this is the mild version, in some cases, you put up a front in front of people, but in your quiet moments, it is not you. The practice is not there. Do you understand? So I adjust myself, everything very nicely done, and hello, no talking, no talking, so all very good. But the moment I'm out of this space, all over the place, the practice is over. So there's a bit of dishonesty there. So to me, uju actually means upright. So sometimes it's translated as upright. Honest, conscientious, practice with understanding. True way, with understanding. It is for nibbana, not to increase merits. Okay? For those of you who think that we go into the retreat and Dhamma practice for merits, dispel that thought, not right. It's for nibbana, okay? For eventually taming all the fires. And the final one is practice in accordance with the teaching correctly. So you can be very conscientious and you're very honest and you know it's for nibbana, but you got it wrong. You got it wrong, the fourth one. Then a bit credit only, no distinction. No. Then you got it really wrong, really wrong, failure, F. Okay, you get it, right? So all the four conditions are there, you're on track. All the four conditions. So when you go on a retreat, you ask the teacher for help, the sangha, the monk. You have to. You know me? If you tell me I'm supposed to sit here quietly and stare at my mind, and I will know when I know. You know me? You know, if you know for yourself, you don't need the Buddhist guidance, then you are Pacheka Buddha or the Buddha himself. We don't know. Without the guidance from the teachers, from the living teachers, from the Sangha, from the living teachers, we sometimes can go off. Teacher, how you read this GPS? There's Dhamma GPS, I don't quite understand. So you can read it wrong, okay? There's no Siri to tell you, you are on the wrong track. You don't have, you're on your own. So it is good to find a living teacher who can help. And these are the Sangha worthy of our support, worthy of our respect, okay? And then it's the same. Okay, moving on. 6, I think today is part 1 of this, okay? I've got 6 sutta, I'm in the sutta 1. But this is important, okay? This is important. Number 4, so 1, 2, 3, Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. There are 6 recollections. The 4th one is recollecting your own virtuous choices. Behavior. Unbroken, flawless, unblemished, unblotched. Freeing, praised by the wise, ungrasped, leading to samadhi. It's all leading to samadhi. Now, what does it mean? All these words. There is a certain consistency. There is a consistency in your behavior. As much as you can, to the best that you can. So now we are not sotapanna, so we slowly we just try and do our best. But the idea here is even when we're trying to do our best, we've got to remember, as much as we can, keep it wholesome. This is number 4, after Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. So sila is a very critical part of the practice. Honestly, I don't know why we always have samadhi guidance and Dhamma guidance, but no sila guidance. No one puts enough attention on sila. But all your best teachers, all of them, Ajahn Brahm, Ajahn Brahmali, Ajahn Jayasaro, Bhante Ji, they all will emphasize sila, morality. Then you say, I keep my pride beside. Not enough. Avoid evil, do good, purify mind. Because when you are wholesome, when your practice is wholesome, you will feel happy. You're a happier person. This is actually what it means. You're a much happier person, and the mind naturally settle into samadhi. Okay? And the same drill. So you recall your wholesome activities, your wholesome choices, you feel happy. Your mind, at the point when you recall wholesomeness, the mind is not obsessed with the 3 fires. Okay? Okay, next one, number 5. Recalling, and Buddha gave a special weight to chaga, generosity. So actually, it's faith. 1, 2, 3, faith. The second one, sila. The third one, chaga, generosity. These are key mental states for one to experience happiness in daily life. And for more detail, because we don't have that much time, more detail, you can read my latest booklet on chaga, generosity. I will give you I'll give you the link. No, I'll give BF the link, BF can give you the link. But this one is very specific. It is a generosity that is so pure, it is not discriminating, it is very embracing, not discriminating. Our generosity very discriminating one. I like your face, give you more. I don't like your face, oh sorry. I don't like your face, give you less. Right? Do you know what I'm saying? We are very discriminating. My loved ones are very generous. The rest of the world, 𝐒𝐶𝐾𝐾. You help yourself, okay? And here is this joy, this lightness. This description is all about this joy, this lightness of giving, pure giving, no agenda, totally no agenda. And it's done for the benefit of whoever needs it, okay? And then same drill. But the sixth one, so what's the first one? Faith in the Buddha, recalling the Buddha. Second one, recalling the Dhamma. Third one, recalling the Sangha. Fourth one, recalling Sila. Very good. The fifth one, what do you think the sixth one is? Okay, oh, kind of strange question. Recalling the Devas. No, I know. I expected this reaction. Recalling how Devas become Devas. So all the the six heavens plus the Brahma world and all, right? There exists in me, this is the line that I want you to pay attention to. There exists in me two, faith, such faith as those possessed by the deities, because of which, when they passed away here, they were reborn there. Based on faith, some of the Devas were reborn in the heaven because of the power of their faith. Faith, okay? And some of them were reborn in the heavens because of the power of their sila. There exists in me too such sila, such learning, such generosity, such wisdom as those possessed by the deities, because of which when they passed away here, they were reborn there. So when you recall a Dewa, like your favorite Guan Yin, many people love Guan Yin. I don't know whether it's a gender thing, but you like Guan Yin. How many like Guan Gong? King Saka, how about King Saka? King Saka, happy. When you recall your favorite Dewas, for those with a lot of faith in the Dewas, they will feel really good. At that point when they recall, the mind goes quiet, it goes peaceful, it's happy, it's joyous, it can samadhi. It can go quiet and straight. So the idea here is recalling something beautiful can help your mind settle. So for instance, give you something more closer to your heart. Suppose that say you know someone, and you know this person to be incredibly lovely character, a lovely person, and you know when this person passed on, she had joined the ranks of the Devas. You feel it, okay? When you're angry, you remember that fella. No, I'm serious. When there's a part in you that's agitated, you recall this person, and you find what happened to your mind. Suddenly it feels less tight. The anger is less tight. You recall this person. It's almost like you're recalling a Dewa. And then your mind will feel more forgiving, a little bit more letting be, more accepting. Do you understand? So that's how these recollections, these are called recollections. A noble disciple arrived at the fruit, understood the teaching, dwells in this way. They develop recollection of Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, Sila, generosity, Chaga, and Dewa. Recalling means you putting your mind onto the object. Instead of paying attention to your anger or your greed or whatever that's bothering you, you recall an object, a wholesome object, allow the mind to steady itself there in this object. Do you understand? Yes? No? I don't know. Please repeat everything again. Okay, Okay, everyone? Let's just move to the next one. I know the last sutta, I only take 2 minutes, but along the way, it's a long one. This one is quite long also, but it's on giving. We all lay people love to offer dana and all, right? So the Buddha was explaining 6 factors for the best kind of gift. Buddha dwelling at Savatthi, Jetavana, Anathapindika's, so Anathapindika's park, Arami. Now, on that occasion, there's this female lay follower by the name 𝐕𝐢𝐝𝐶𝐻 Nandamata Mata had prepared an offering possessed of 6 factors for the Sangha. And the Buddha then told his monks, okay? He could see that she was doing it with that 6 conditions, 6 factors. So he told his monk, this lady is preparing this offering possessed of 6 factors for the Sangha headed by Sariputta and Moggallana. How is an offering possessed of 6 factors? Donor has 3, recipients have 3. Okay? So 3, 3. The donor, you, we, the one who is giving, joyful before giving, placid, soft, confident mind in one giving. So when you are giving, the mind is soft, humble, with confidence in what you're doing and in all the Sangha, joyous. And finally, elated after giving. Happy, happy, happy. It's easy to remember. Happy 1, happy 2, happy 3. Before, during, after. Confident, light. Do not, when you are giving, stare at your own gift, stare at other people give, and when, sheesh. Like that only, Don't do that, okay? Don't ever compare. Focus on your own gift and feel the joy. Feel joy that you can give. Okay? That you have the means to give. Feel the joy. Now comes that 3. They have no lobha, they have no dosa, they have no moha. The recipients are devoid of lobha, lust. Now, this lust are not sexual lust, it's just a lot of wanting, a very strong, intense wanting, okay? Or they are practicing to remove lobha, lust. They're practicing. And they are devoid of hatred and are practicing to remove hatred. They are devoid of delusion, practicing to remove delusion, meaning they are practicing wisdom, understanding of Dhamma. So when you go on when you are serving at a retreat, all these retreatants, I'm not talking about Sangha here. Sangha, of course, one, another level, but this us, lay people, retreat. And you practice and you try your best. When you go and accept the food, you must remember your practice. Because when you recall your own practice and you do it humbly, and the mind devoid of greed, anger, delusion, at that point, the person serving you has the best gift, his best merits. Do you understand? So you owe it. If you go on a retreat and you're taking free food, you owe it to the people who are cooking and busying themselves for you to honor that practice. Keep your mind clean. Do not. Oh, that food very good. I hope he give me more. You lobha already. You just undermine your own practice. Okay, don't look at what they're giving. You just put up the bowl, let them put it in. All you need to do is just remember, whatever goes in, you better finish it. This is not buffet Singapore style. More. Cannot finish. Cannot. You just observe the amount, the volume, that's all. You do not pay attention to the taste, the thought, the desire. I don't eat this. You take away, can or not. Cannot. You will undermine people's generosity. Okay? Okay, that's it. That's it. Possessing 6 factors. So I like the Buddha saying, you cannot merit, it's not easy to measure merit. So this nutriment happiness. But you know, just whatever is there can take you to heaven. Heavenly ripening in happiness conducive to heaven that leads to what is wished for, desired, agreeable to your welfare and happiness. Okay, you don't know what will lead to what, in other words, but just know you should reckon it as incalculable, immeasurable, great mass of merit. So whatever merit, don't think about the results, don't think about how it will lead you to heaven, because it will. But you don't think about that, you just know merits. Okay, that's what he's saying. Just as it's not easy to measure water in a great ocean, there are so many gallons, there's so many hundreds of gallons, thousands of gallons, there are all these things. But rather, you will just see it as immeasurable water. So too, not easy to measure merits of such offering, but just see it as immeasurable. Incalculable, immeasurable, great mass of merit. Okay? Now this cute little verse to help the monks remember. Prior to giving, one is joyful. While giving, one settles the mind in trust. After giving, one is elated. This is success in the act of giving. When they're devoid of lust and hatred, devoid of delusion, without taint, self-control, living the spiritual life, the feel for the offering is complete. Having cleansed oneself, given with one's own hand, an act of charity is very fruitful for oneself and for another. Having performed such a charitable deed with a mind free from miserliness, the wise person rich in faith is reborn in a happy, non-afflictive world. Okay? I thought you will enjoy this. Next sutta. We can do at least 4. Next one. Don't anyhow judge. Occasionally, I must give you a cute title so you remember better. I wanted to put don't anyhow judge. Then no need. We don't have to decimate the English in this way. So, this is a very cute sutta. And it's a beautiful sutta, but it's hard to read at some point. Okay, so you follow me. I will read slowly. Ananda met this female lay disciple, Mikasa. Mikasala. Okay, pay homage, sat down. Then said to said to Ananda. Mikasala 找上门的哦, she go visit him. So she meant, which means she went to him with a burning question. Okay? So she sat down. She said, Bante, how should this teaching of the Buddha be understood? Be understood. Where one is celibate and when one is not celibate, both have exactly the same destination in their future life. My father, Purana, celibate, living apart, abstaining from sexual intercourse, which is the common person's practice. When he died, the Buddha declared he had attained to the state of a once returner. Sakadama is the second level. He has attained to the state of a once returner, has been reborn in the two-seater heaven. My uncle, his brother, Purana's brother, okay, Isidatta, not celibate, live a contented married life. Okay? When he died, Buddha also declared, attained to the state of once returner, reborn in two-seater. Okay. Purana, celibate, two-seater, Sakadagami. Isidatta, not celibate, also two-seater heaven, Sakadagami. She bosong. Mikasala not happy because her father celibate. Like that. My uncle happy. Like that. She not happy. This is reading between the lines, okay? Because later on, Buddha scold her. Okay? She's not happy. She's like, Buddha got salah or not? This is basically what she's asking. She's being polite. How is one to understand? But actually, Buddha got salah or not? Okay? No, Buddha's brilliant. You must remember, you cannot underestimate our teacher, okay? Okay. Ananda didn't know what to say. Ananda got stunned, right? Stunned. This is a Singlish word. So he got, how you say stunned? He's stunned. He also didn't know how to say. He said, it was just in this way, sister, that the Blessed One declared it. So in other words, see, Buddha say like that. Okay? He was stunned. Thank you. Now, after Ananda had eaten Migasala's food, he went back to the Buddha. He repeated the entire conversation. The Buddha said, "What's this foolish, incompetent woman?" Now, I put in another line that says, in the Agama, the same sutta appeared in the Agama. So this is real. Huh? This happened. But in the Agama, there was no scolding the woman. So if someone asks me, "Oh, Buddha scold woman," say woman, foolish, incompetent woman, the woman's intellect, quite disturbing. But the Agamas didn't have it, which means that this line is probably added later. But Buddha must have scolded, silly woman. But not so much the woman, but the silly part. Okay? Now, comes the answer. There are 6 types of people in the world. What 6? Number 1, mild, a person who is mild, pleasant companion, dwell happily with the monks, but he has not listened to the teaching, become learned in them. All the brackets, square bracket, but Bhikkhu Bodhi put it in. He has not listened. Full stop, right? Then put in the Dhamma. Become learned, penetrated by view, attain temporary liberation. Temporary. So this guy has not really listened to the Dhamma. It had not listened, cannot be learned, definitely hasn't penetrated, didn't quite understand, hasn't really paid attention, in other words. This guy has not really, it's either he didn't listen, but he's a monk, so he must have listened, but he didn't understand, he didn't absorb, so he has never really experienced Dhamma joy. A lovely character, no Dhamma. Okay. This one, I make it simple to understand. Then, number 2, mild, same lovely character, but has listened, become learned, tries to apply them, attains temporary liberation. Temporary, these are not Sotapanna. It's temporary only. They feel this joyful release. Okay? Between them, so the character is the same, mild, pleasant, and everybody likes them. Okay? The difference is the Dhamma. One listened, one did not. One didn't quite understand, the other one did. And he said, the person who is mild, pleasant, but listen, become learned, penetrated by view, attain temporary release, surpasses and excels the other person. For what reason? Because the Dhamma stream carries him along. Do you understand this? When you understand the Dhamma, that Dhamma will reshape, rewire. Understanding means you get what he's saying because you have applied. If you have not, say the Buddha talks about virtues, virtuous behavior, avoiding lobha, dosa, moha, greed, anger, delusion. Avoid. You heard, but you never apply. When you never apply, you cannot benefit. Do you understand? If you never apply, you can never benefit. So what does it mean? What does it mean? Sorry, wait. Advertisement. Let's say you're angry. Okay? I go back to anger because it's most obvious. You're angry. Okay? You know the Dhamma, but you never apply. Buddha say forgive. You say how? Buddha say let go. You say cannot. Right? You never apply. You will not feel the relief of forgiving. When you are able to put down and forgive, you, yourself, you will experience relief. When you cannot do it, you will never experience relief. Do you understand? It won't happen. That is why it's such a big thing in the Buddhist practice. After a retreat, people will look to each other and say, if I've done anything, say anything that has hurt you or upset you, please forgive me. And if you had done the same thing, I forgive you. Here before the Buddha, we will do it. There is a closure. When you forgive and you let go, it's a closure. There is a part of you that will say, you'll feel better. It's just you, your feeling, your sensation. Okay? How did you get to a state where you can do this? For many of us, it's because we are in the Dhamma. We learn to rewire the brain. We learn to teach ourselves to say things differently, look at things differently, try and focus on what is wholesome rather than constantly focus on what is not. When you allow the Dhamma to begin to affect the way you make choices, and you understand things, and you relate to things, when you allow that to happen, the mind change. That change is the Dhamma stream. You are allowing the Dhamma to ferry you along towards a wholesome direction. But if you never listen, you listen, you hear something, you don't remember much, go out of this door, drop everything behind, be able to take the broom and sweep up all the things that you drop behind, then you cannot apply. You cannot remember, you cannot apply. Cannot apply, the Dhamma didn't carry you. You got the Dhamma trickle. You're here, you hear a big drop, 3 drops of water. Cannot stream you along. Do you understand? Okay? This is the first 2 sets. Now comes the ones that more us. You can recognize ourselves here. Anger. This person has anger. This person has conceit. Thanks. Conceit means, 好练啊. Like, I'm so good. I'm superior, conceit. So anger has conceit. We are a bit conceited, some of us. You who? You can teach me, meh? That kind, we are this pattern. From time to time, someone got greed arise. Okay, got greed arises. Never listen to the teaching, never learn, never penetrated, never attained temporary liberation. When you die, when the person dies, he hates for deterioration, not for distinction. Can get worse. Never listen to the Dhamma, never apply some aspects of it. No Dhamma stream to protect you, can go worse. Same fella, okay? Same, a different person, same character, got anger, got conceit, but has listened to the Dhamma, has tried to apply the Dhamma. Apply. Cannot listen already, then don't apply. Then you still belong to category 3, okay? You listen already, start applying, and you, in your lifetime, you feel, yes, when I forgive, I feel great. When the Buddha said, be generous, let go, I feel great. That's your Dhamma stream. Then you got Dhamma stream, okay? And you are heading for a distinction. You will improve, you will grow. That's what he's saying. So for those of you who say, my parents not here, cannot learn these things, they don't want to listen to me, you at least teach them forgiveness, giving, generosity, at least that. Help them to feel the joy of that giving. You can protect them to some degree, okay? And number 5, this one. Someone got quarrel with people. Got anger, got conceit, time to time go quarrel with people. Exchange of words. Okay? Maybe you're not this category. No Dhamma stream, jalat. Heading for deterioration, not distinction. And this one, then you say, got Dhamma, still quarrel with people. You don't quarrel with people, meh? Exchange words. Sorry, not quarrel. You exchange words with people, okay? Only exchange, never quarrel. But Buddha also say exchange words, same, okay? But you have Dhamma learning and you have Dhamma practice. So 5 and 6. One, same character, different. The difference is that Dhamma. The one who has the Dhamma, again, the Dhamma stream protects him, carries him along. Okay? The difference is that Dhamma. And finally comes the punchline. 𝐿𝐶𝐷𝐻𝑒 is the uncle. If he had the same celibate lifestyle as Purana, Purana could not have even known his destination. Do you know what that means? It means they're reborn in different world. That's basically it. Now they're in the same place, right? Two-seater heaven. Hey, hi neighbor, brother. Yo. Now it's this, they're in the two-seater heaven together. So if 𝐿𝐶𝐷𝐻𝑒 had been celibate like his brother, okay, Purana would not have met him because he would have gone even higher. And vice versa. If Purana had the same kind of wisdom that 𝐿𝐶𝐷𝐻𝑒 had, 𝐿𝐶𝐷𝐻𝑒 could not have known his destination. So therefore, father has virtuous living, but not enough wisdom. And brother had much wisdom, but have a happy life. Happy, contented, happy married life, ma? Okay? And so the two of them end up in the same space, probably neighbor. This one my injection. Huh? How much time do we have? Can continue? Oh, okay. Everyone okay? Simple enough? Happy. This is Sanditiko. Directly realize. You know, you always hear this word. One of the first is Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo. Sanditiko. This is on Sanditiko. Directly realize. A lot of people, okay, maybe I shouldn't start like this. Let me rewind, okay? Let me ask you. When you hear the word directly realize, Sanditiko, what do you have in mind? What do you have in mind? Come on. Oh, you Jana Grove regulars. Jana Grove regulars. What do you have in mind when you hear the word Sanditiko, directly realize? At that moment when you see, you understand. Okay, pretty good. Okay, any other offer? So good. Do you have this idea that it must be see Dhamma? Must realize the Dhamma, penetrate impermanence. Do you have that idea? Sanditiko ma, directly see, directly realize. So you may have this idea that it's some profound thing that happens and that it shifts your life forever. Yeah? But for many lives to come, it shifts it forever. Sanditiko. Actually, it's not so difficult. I told you already, Buddha's Dhamma is not difficult. Hear this conversation between the Brahmin, and he asked, Sanditiko, the directly visible Dhamma, in what way is the Dhamma directly visible? Immediate. Inviting one to come see. Applicable, personally realized by the wise for himself. Okay. Well then, Brahmin, I will question you. Answer as you see fit, so answer as you like. When there is lobha, lust within you, do you know? There is lust within me. When there is no lust in you, do you know that there is no lust in me? And the reply, yes. Okay? Do you understand this? So Sanditiko, realize for yourself, one aspect of it is about wholesome, unwholesome. You must know for yourself at any one time the mental state there. At any one time, you must know whether you have anger, you have fear, you have confusion, whatever. Most of us live our life quite oblivious to the content, the stability or not of the mind. Instead, we are caught up emotionally. Whatever hits you hard, either it's a high pleasure or high pain, that's the one that sees the mind. And therefore, your mind is caught up in the object. But your mind is not aware of its status. Do you know what I'm saying? There is a difference between the object and the status of your mind. Do you have lobha, dosa, moha, greed, anger, delusion? Do you have confusion? Do you have agitation, fear? Or did you have joy, peace, calm, steadiness? What is that state of mind? You're not aware. But here he's saying, you can, right? If you pay attention, you can. You pay attention to the mind, you examine the state. You'll be aware. So, sanditiko is for yourself at any one point, you be aware of what's your mind. You are aware of what's there. No lobha, good. Lobha, getting strong, challenging. It's going to disturb the mind. No anger, good. Anger arising from subtle to more intense, and after that, it will consume you. You must know. You say, you know, right? Okay, then it goes on. I'll just give you the whole. When there's hatred, there's delusion, a bodily fault, a verbal fault, a mental fault. Do you know? So here it's very clear, sanditiko, there are fewer, but this particular one is, you must know unwholesome mental habits. You must know it, and you let it go. Do not engage. Do not entertain. Consider these unwholesome mental states as arisings, and let them alone, they will fade. But if you pay attention to the object of anger, the object of greed, agitation, whatever, you pay attention to object, your mind will run with that narratives. Give you an example. Let's go back to anger, since it's my favorite topic of the day. Somebody sat next to me and spit. Okay, let's just say he sat next to it somewhere, let's say sit somewhere out there in the bus stop or whatever. Or smoke. You non-smoker. I know I just came back from somewhere and they smoke all around. It's land of the smoke. Dragon breath, right, all over. And there is a part in you that, oh my gosh, this smoking, I'm going to run that way, I'm going to run that way, right? I do that, I know. I like, okay, never mind. Then I get up and I ease. Then, another new lot of people smoking, like, oh, never mind, let's go there, right? I admit I was also caught up with the non-smoke. Looking for green environment. I was looking for that, okay? If I had remembered this practice, I will remember to just watch your anger. Or, no, I wasn't angry, I was annoyed. Just watch your annoyance. I get annoyed too, leh. Yeah. You watch your annoyance a bit, just watch, ayo, ayo. You know, the ayo bit, and you just watch it. And then like that, lor. If I had remembered my teaching, but as traveling, sometimes you forget a bit. Here in Singapore, when the same thing happens, I'm not going to dance around looking for green support. I will just, okay lah, ease, and then that's it. But you watch the mind. Can you see the difference? When you watch the smoking, which is what I did, it's like, where am I going to find a spot where there is fresh air? When you watch your mind, then you will forget whatever is out there. You're only back to the condition of that mind. So the practice requires us to be more aware of in here than out there. Okay? And in our daily life, we want to be aware of more wholesome, then unwholesome. At any one time, if you become aware, your mindfulness regain, what are you thinking of? Are you aware? If at any one time when the mindfulness regain, you regain mindfulness, and the content of the mind at that point is loba, dosa, moha, you know your practice needs a little bit more sanditiko, a little bit more awareness. But if at any one time mindfulness is there, and you find yourself recalling the six earlier one, the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha, the Sila, Chaga, Dewa, right? You find yourself doing that, you know you're fine. No scared, the car knock you, you go to Suttas. Okay? Why you laugh? Kaboom, then boo. Oh, where am I? Oh, to Sita, hi, isi data. Okay. Must be like that, lah. Okay. So this is, Sanditiko actually refers to being aware, directly know for yourself the wholesome, unwholesome mental states in the mind. Okay? We're making good time. Boleh? Boleh. The boss there. This is a very cute sutta, and I thought it is a good reminder, the Buddha's guidance on what makes a well-practiced monk. And this, long story short, he met this guy, the householder 𝐷𝒂𝒃𝒃, man, 𝐷𝒂𝒃𝒃, lady 𝐷𝒂𝒃𝒃, okay? So 𝐷𝒂𝒃𝒃 approached Buddha, and the Buddha asked him, you give dana? He says, yes, I give dana. I give dana to bhikkhus who are arahants, or on the path to arahant, and they are forest dwellers, alms food collectors, wearers of rag robes. Do you know what this line means? We all lay people look at form. This is form, okay? And based on form, we assume practice, the quality of practice. That's why I only gave to bhikkhus who are forest dweller, alms food collectors, and wearers of rag robes. So the chatla one, okay? And they are arahants or on the path to arahant. Okay, that's what this line means. Buddha listened already, went, uh-oh. You are a lay person, enjoying sensual pleasure, living at home, a house full of children, you see, kasian. So this guy is rich. This kasian sandalwood means Parisian, the Parisian boutique store, okay? Like that one, Benares cloth, kasian sandalwood. Wearing garlands, got perfume, Chanel, number 5, receiving gold and silver, play the cryptocurrency, difficult for you to know. It's difficult for you to know, he said, who are the arahants and who are the ones on the path. Get it? He said, you this kind of better go and judge the monk. Luhobo. To put it into Hokkien. Okay, are you all right? You okay? Your the way you live your life, you want to figure out who's a monk? No. Okay, now comes the punchline. It doesn't matter if he's a forest dweller, in other words. If a bhikkhu, forest dweller, restless, puffed up, vain, talkative, rambling in his talk, muddle-minded, lacking clear comprehension, unconcentrated, wandering mind, loose sense faculty, blameworthy. So how do you tell if a sangha is arahant or not? He's asking you to observe their behavior, observe how they speak and what they talk about, how they handle themselves. Action and speech, not form. Get it? Action and speech. Now, you say, I cannot tell whether he's restless. he sit down there not like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, but just stock market up and down like this, like this. Not settled. Anyone whose mind is set. Have you seen little one? Oh, make sure no little ones around. After that, they never coming back to the Dhamma. Because this teacher talk about little one being distracted. But have you seen little ones? Singapore got no little ones. You see how they all over, all over? Huh? Correct, right? Poke. Hole see, hole put hole, right? That kind. 10 hole put ting, all the holes. It's when a mind is restless, there is a lot of movement. There will be a lot of movement. So that's your first clue. If the monk has a lot of movement, there's a high chance the mind is restless. High chance. But he gave you so many clues. Talkative, rambling, puff up. Puff up means prideful. How come you're not bowing? Seriously? Why never stand? Huh? See, teacher never stand? This kind, puff up, a bit puff up. Okay, penguin. Vain, talkative, vain. Buddha say one, not I say. Okay. So he's giving you evidence. You look for evidence. Okay? Then when he talks, now this one is clarity. When you go for a talk, and it's talking about something, but you taped, okay? Because you're very sincere, you're very earnest, so you taped. You when you're in the class, you can't quite understand. You bring home, listen 3 times, still don't quite understand. The talk is not clear. When it's clear, it's very clear. I've listened to Dhamma talk by certain monks, so beautiful, so clear, so simple. And they're like that. So sometimes we complicate the talk so that you think we chim lah. Correct, right? I mean, like, chim means deep, profound. Okay, so our talk is very complicated with all kinds of equation, and then you, wow, this Dhamma really good. Why? I don't understand. In the entire canon, there was only one sutta where it was recorded the monks didn't understand. In the entire canon, okay, there's only one sutta that ended with, and they didn't say sadhu. They didn't rejoice, which means they didn't understand. And that is MN1, Mulapariyaya Sutta. Okay? Every other sutta, there is joyous rejoicing. Okay? Okay. So this is important. Okay? If a monk is not restless, not puffed up, not vain, not talkative is your best clue. Sit with you, half the time he wants to talk to you. You're like, I'm trying to WhatsApp here, but they like, this is your clue. Rambling, mindfulness. So this one is not rambling, the mindfulness is established. There's a clear clarity. There's a certain togetherness. He is okay. It's praiseworthy. Buddha never said arahant or not. He said blameworthy, praiseworthy. Blameworthy means this one you can complain. Praiseworthy is this one you must give 5-star feedback. So strict experience, it's very good. And then he went on. Whether the monk lives as a forest dweller, or outskirt of a village, or alms food collector, or accepts invitation, or wears red clothes, or wear robes, irrelevant. The form is irrelevant. It's the behavior, the content of his talk, the things he talks about, that's your clue. Okay? And he said, give gifts to the Sangha. When you give gifts to Sangha, so here he says Sangha. When he used the word Sangha, it's a community of monks, not one monk. You look at number 1 and 2, he talks about bhikkhu. But in this final point, he says, give gifts to Sangha, community of monks. Don't judge one. observe the community, to bring joy. Your mind will be confident. When the mind is confident, breakup of the body, reborn in a heavenly world. And then Darukamika said, I will give gifts to Sangha. Okay? So don't look at form, look at content of talk, look at behavior and the things he talks about. That's your clue. Okay? Finally, number 6. This one I say I'll take 2 minutes, maybe 3, okay? Living in a fortunate age in Book of 6. We've heard this before, right? Or you all know that, right? Tak tahu? Never heard of this? Living in the age. We are living in a very fortunate age. All of us. We only lack one. There are 6 factors. We lack only one. Which one? Buddhas know more. But you're living in the age of the Dhamma. Okay? Manifestations of 6 things rare. What 6? The manifestation of a Tathagata is rare. A teacher of the Dhamma and discipline proclaimed by a Tathagata is rare. Okay? Rebirth in the sphere of the noble ones is rare. So in other words, in our lifetime, in this world, there are beings, there are practitioners who are in the ranks of the noble ones. Meaning, when you have that, this is a very important point because when you have Arya Sangha, it means the Dhamma is still alive. Okay, it means there are people who know how to read this Dhamma map, read the guidance properly, and can help us get it right. Okay. For yourself, 4, 5, and 6. It's for us. We are endowed with unimpaired faculties. So there are people with limited ones. But you're not. You have full range. And you are intelligent and astute. Make good judgment. The desire for the wholesome Dhamma, that's us. Then you say, what the desire for wholesome Dhamma is rare? I ask you, you think about your family, your friends, more of you or less of you? More or less? You have like 5 siblings. You're the only one here. Why? And therefore play golf, traveling, enjoying life, sense delights and all. Okay? So the desire for wholesome Dhamma is rare. Okay? So these 6 things are rare. We are very fortunate. We have 5 of 6. Then you say, why 5? Number 1 don't have lah. But you have 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 and 3. You have 2 and 3. You're still in good hands. We can still realize the Dhamma. Okay? Done. Question.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Question. Any question?
Okay, only maybe 2 questions.
No question? Yes. There's 1 question here.
Thanks, sister. One burning question. How important is the last thought moment in bringing us to the next better plane, despite all this?
Now, I don't like this word last thought moment because it creates a lot of fear. Okay, it creates a lot of fear. And in the Pali canon, actually there was no mention of last thought moment. This one I think appears in Abhidhamma. Okay? I have not come across a reference to a last thought moment in the canon. And because I studied, right? You read my profile, I studied. And I know that when I started, there were all these guidance about last thought moment, okay? I personally don't see it like this. Unless, with one exception only, unless you are overwhelmed by a conscience, a deep conscious stabbing thing that you never forgive and you could not forget. Otherwise, irrelevant. So that is why, as part of our practice, we try and let it go. We try and seek forgiveness, and we try and have proper closure. But that's the only one. Okay? So you don't worry about the thing that pops up suddenly. The teaching, based on a conversation between the Buddha and Mahanama, it's a separate conversation. You go and look, you find Sutta Mahanama, the few that comes out. And one of these is a conversation where Mahanama said, Kapilavatthu traffic is really bad, and I'm afraid of a sudden death. And I don't know what's going to happen to me. Buddha took one look and said, your mind is fortified, consolidated in 5 mental states, you're fine. Anything hits you suddenly, you are fine. So what are the 5 mental states? Those are my books, lor. Earlier on, we talked about the books, right? There are 5, so hard to write. So I've written 4, I got 1 more to go. First one, faith, Saddha. Sila, Sutta, S-U-T-A, Sutta, learning, okay? Chaga, generosity, and wisdom. The 5th one is wisdom. It's the hardest to write. And then you say, wow, why is I must consolidate? Can you just whack 2? Whack really hard 2. Faith and generosity. Mahanama, high-end one. People Sotapanna, very high-end. That's why he's 5. But we can consolidate in some. You don't need all. I tell you a cute little story. A really cute story, and it's in the canon. So this is not a later edition. Mahamoggallana likes to go up to the heavens. He loves it. He likes to do field research. So he'll go up to the Dewa, he'll ask them, how did you come to be here? And in one of those conversations, he found that a lot of dana led to their rebirth there. One of them even gave just vegetable. He not sure about that. Came down, he asked the Buddha, hey, vegetable, then heaven eh? And the Buddha said, you heard from him, right? You heard from the guy. Why are you asking me? Okay? So to me, please just enjoy your good work. Feel good about yourself. Continue to do your good work, okay? And believe in them. Believe in the teaching. You'll be fine. Honestly, you'll all be fine. Do not be distracted by wrong guidance over time. So personally, this last thought moment thing, it's not a factor. It's your habit that matters. If you, all your life, so angry, don't know for what, right? Angry, angry, angry. Then you may want to start changing habit now. Start changing now. Got time, eh? Got a lot of time. You day in, day out, 7 days, done. Okay? It takes a few days to rewire, but if you're consistent, the time is shorter. You do it with understanding, with intention, and deliberate. It's a shorter time. It will start to rewire very fast. Do you understand? And when you consolidate it in some wholesome state, so a lot of you are very compassionate. Go and serve. Go and give. Many of you are naturally giving. Give more. BF needs fun. I tell you a very cute story. Someone, and I think it's very it's poignant, but it's beautiful. Someone was nursing a family member who was dying, and they wanted to offer dana. And the daughter said to the mother, let's go and give dana to centers that are building. Then for years and years and years to come, after you're no more, your money is still working. It's brilliant, right? After you are no more, but your help in building a Dhamma center of learning, it's still working, right? And when you think about it, wherever you are, let's hope you tusita lah, kakak lah biakin, you know, just be a bit ambitious tusita, right? Yeah, tusita, you're very happy also. Every day can bless BF. Yeah, this one water pie. This one my brick. This one my brick. Oh, my pillar here. Hey, get the pillar lah. Then at least you get this pillar mine. And then use your magic to go and carve your name. Then, okay? Then you're joyous. That's what you want. Okay? No fear, no scared. Okay. Okay, who's next? One more. Eileen, permit one more. No more? Nothing online? Oh, yeah. Your lay long work.
Okay, I just want to ask, like, when you were talking about smokers, right? Or just like watching your mind in general. So sometimes your mind is the one that is sabotaging you with all the narratives and judgments or whatsoever. So are there ways of overcoming it? Thank you.
Your mind is conditional arising. Okay, basically what it means is it goes by habits. And you find that your mind has turned somewhat negative because of the tension in your life, because of the stresses. The mind is learning to be leaning towards negative, leaning towards critical. And you say, I want to stop this. You must make that determination. I want to change this habit. I want to stop it. And you have to be consistent. Because if you're not consistent, it will be 2 steps forward, 1 step backward. Okay, 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, you're at the same place. So 1 step backward. So you have to be consistent. But you must do it with understanding. That means, I know this habit is not good. I want to correct the habit. Listen to the words, it's correcting a habit, not stopping it. Correcting it means you shift it. It has to be shifted. You cannot will yourself to stop. After very big tick on, you want to put a will anywhere, it is willing to change. So you will take on new habits, wholesome ones. And one of the things you want to teach yourself, which is very good, is generosity. Now, you may say, generosity, give money. No, generosity actually has different shade. Shade 1 is about giving something. Something tangible or something intangible, up to you. But it is giving something. But shade 2 is actually letting go of an unwholesome mental state. So for instance, I let go of anger. I'm giving up anger. Then you say, giving up, you're giving up your sense of entitlement. You're giving up yourself, the self. There is a giving there. There's a letting go there. If you say that I am agitated, I don't want this agitation, you must give up something. Let go of that which that seizes your mind. You let it go. Then it will slowly ease off. Okay? So you want to cultivate generosity, learning to let go of your sense of entitlement, sense of self-righteousness. All these are views related. And you can do this by changing your narrative, the way you talk. Okay? For instance, depending on you, your own habits, the word you choose must be consistent and relevant to you. For me personally, I talk so much about anger because it was something that I had for a long time. And I had to change. I really got to shift in a very deliberate way, but now it's second nature. And this is what I say to myself. I'll say a person who is angry and agitated has a lot of pain. I forgive. I let go. poor fellow is struggling with his anger and pain. You go and get angry with him for what? So this is what I say to myself. It's a narrative. You say to yourself. It may well be you will say, I don't want to spend my time, I don't want to waste my time on angry people or unwholesome people. That's the word you use. I need to spend my time cultivating wholesome. So time is precious. I keep it to what's useful and relevant and meaningful. So this is your narrative. Or another person's narrative could be, stay in my mind, go to hell, go to hell. Don't stay in my mind, don't stay in my mind. Happy, happy. Do you know what I'm saying? It's your narrative. Choose a narrative that will work for you. For me, the narrative that works is compassion, you see. I would say that someone who is so angry, someone who is so agitated, someone who is always scolding, is in a lot of pain. I'll just walk away. Don't give more pain. This is my narrative, okay? Whatever works for you, you use it. But you must be consistent, and then the mind will start rewiring. Over time, it becomes second nature, it becomes habit. You cannot push an unwholesome mental state away. You can cut it and drop it. But if it's not ingrained, it will come back. You displace it with an alternative mental state. So for instance, if you have a lot of doubt, you must build confidence. If you have a lot of anger, you must build metta. If you have a lot of lust, you must build a certain detachment, dispassion to form. So the Buddha's guidance is actually about supplanting mental state, not stopping. You supplant it, you change it, you replace it. Replace the mental states. Okay? Okay, done. One last. My advertisement first. This I actually don't need to advertise. But for those of you who are interested, we are actually doing a Sutta retreat at Ladakh. So for 3 days, 4 days, it will end up with 4 days, 3 actual days of the Sutta discussion. But day 1, you fly in, you must rest, not do anything. So all in all, 4 days at the center. Okay? And if you're interested, please let BF know. It's this QR code, and then it will take you to the relevant Eventbrite site. Okay,
Yeah.
done.